Hello, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, or good night, depending on where you are. It's Twanna, and I am here with hopefully, if you're going through this will be something good for you, just some great tips. Give me a moment. Let me see about making sure that I pockets down in all the right spots. Okay, there we go. So hopefully everybody is enjoying your day or you've enjoyed your day and you're getting ready to some of you might be getting ready to snuggle in and take a nice little sleep or some of you are just get starting with your day. So wherever you are, may it be a great thing. Okay. Just 1 second here. I'm gonna make sure that I get this in the right place. Okay, I think we are very close. Let's see. And again, I hate to wear glasses on when I'm doing Facebook Live because I like, I like for people to see my eyes. And glasses just have this way of get that glare. I never know quite which way to turn my head or move it up or down. So I'll leave my glasses off, but yeah, it makes the writing just a little bit fuzzy. But hey, we'll make do. We'll be okay. All right, so I think that we are ready to go. Well, thank you for joining in. Hi, Justin. How are you? Hi, Janice. Janice is from London. How are you, Janice? Yeah, great, great, great. So I'm talking about a topic today. I ran into this, earlier in my career, and I never quite knew how to handle it. And in my case, because of social anxiety, always thought it was something wrong with me. But are you one of those people that find that your boss rarely has enough time to spend down and just do in-depth conversation with you, give you some great feedback, and give you that surety that either you're on the right way, on the right path, and if you're not, give you some pointers of what to do and where to go? Are you one of those people who works virtually from your boss? I've actually been in companies, in organizations where my boss was 4 or 5 states away. So you don't get that chance to run into your boss's office and sit down and chit chat. You just don't get that chance. And for some people, and it's really a little stressful, if you're in a new position, especially if you're newly promoted to a manager or team leader, and you can't quite seem to get any time from your supervisor because you need feedback. We all need feedback, and that's why we have managers, and part of their jobs are to give us feedback and prepare us for the next level. And so, like I said, this happened to me early in my career, but I took all the fault and all the blame. I just figured there was something wrong. Maybe he or she didn't like me. I internalized things instead of getting some help or stepping outside to see what the real issue was. So, my subject today is what to do when your boss doesn't have time to manage or to groom you. Because at the end of the day, if you don't get groomed, especially if you're a new manager or you're a manager in a new position, if you don't get the right grooming and the right feedback, um, it is sometimes you're going to be held where you are. It's difficult to get promoted, or you just end up stuck. Okay, so this is a really important thing to be able, number one, just recognize that you're in the position. Don't do what I did. I internalized and said it must be my fault, or he doesn't like me, she doesn't like me, that kind of thing. They just may be busy with one crisis after the other, or one project after the other. So what do you do? Okay, there's two things that you can do if you find yourself in that situation. Okay, and number one is you can take the initiative to put yourself on the calendar. A lot of agencies have an Outlook calendar where you go out and you schedule. Sometimes you've got to go through the gatekeeper, but that's another way. Go see the gatekeeper and get on the calendar and give them the subject. Hey, it's feedback catch up time. Okay, and once you get on that calendar, don't just come in and plot down and wait for your boss to say something to you. Absolutely not. Be sure that when you go in to see your supervisor, you have an agenda. You have an agenda. You know what you need. If it's especially if it's been a couple of months, take a look at the projects. Here's what I did. Here's where I think I may need improvement. What do you think? But go in with an agenda. And I tell you, once I finally figured out how to do this, it actually works. I've had to do this. Once I figured out what was going on, I just got on her calendar. You know, and I sat down and said, well, here's an agenda. These are my gaps. These are the things that I would like to cover. Where do you see it going? What are your suggestions? What do you think? What do you see? That type of thing gets the conversation flowing so that you're not always on the outside. And don't get me wrong, bosses will speak, managers will speak to you, but that cursory, hey, how are you doing? Everything going good? Yeah, awesome, excellent, great job. That is not enough for you to grow on. That is not enough for you to be groomed well enough to move up. You have to be careful of that. Very serious, serious subject. So yeah, put yourself on the calendar and have an agenda, have feedback. What do you think? What would you like to do? And then open it from there. Okay. And most of the time that works. And even if you're virtual, this works. Hop on the calendar and it may be a Skype call, it may be a phone call, but you want 30 minutes to an hour with your boss so that you can go deep. You don't want to stay surface. Okay. Because if you stay surface, you really don't get the things that you need to grow. And this is how sometimes evaluations are a surprise because you've been surface all year long. And then what come evaluation time, your boss goes, you needed to have done this better, this is this. And you're going like, wait, what? What? Okay, this stops all of that. You go in and I'd say get on his calendar, her calendar, yeah, at least twice a month, I'd say. If you have a really good boss, you can get on every week, especially if you're really project oriented and things are moving at a fast clip, you may need every week. And others you just may need 1 month. If you get an hour per month and you go in with a good solid agenda and you go deep early on, you can get away with a month, and other people may need 2 or 3 times a month. But gauge what type of job you have, where you are, and what issues are coming up, especially if you're a new manager. The first several months is very critical because you want to start out like you're going to hold out. You want to start out in the right place, in the right path. You don't want to start off and then 6 months later find out you spent 6 months on the wrong path, because then you have to correct and go back and redo things. So no, you don't want to do that. So go ahead and put yourself on your boss's calendar, see the gatekeeper and get on that calendar and walk in with an agenda. And you really want to be nice to your boss and let them know that you're serious about this, send the agenda ahead of time. Because what that does is it takes stress off them for having to come up with something to talk with you about. But then if they've noticed things, or it's just things that I'd like for you to do, that kind of thing, you can get that by putting the agenda up there. And again, I've actually done that. Put myself on the calendar, sent the agenda, hey, here's what I'd like to talk about, and we can get to the meeting. You may talk about what you had on your agenda, or that agenda may spark other questions and other pathways for you to travel. So that's way number one. Put yourself on the calendar. And now, I've had some bosses where that just didn't work. They were busy, busy, busy. They were wearing so many hats that didn't work. So that doesn't mean you stop. What you have to then do is look around your organization and see if there are mentors, other people within your same section or within your organization who can mentor you. They can be a great resource. Check out and see if there's a mentoring program for your organization. Some organizations have them. Recommend yourself and get a mentor, because it's just as good as your boss grooming you to have someone else in your organization to do that for you. Okay. And you can also see your coworkers, but you got to be really careful with that. You want to be sure you're getting good information. You want to be sure the coworker is fair and upright and honest and not sabotaging you, trying to prevent you to, if your coworker feels that the two of you are in competition, then they may not give you good stuff all the time. So you gotta be a little leery about the coworker, but certainly, it's maybe the same thing about another supervisor in that section, but certainly check out to see if there's a mentoring program. Seek out mentorship. It is one of the best things you can do, especially early on if you're a new manager or you're in a, you're a manager in a new position. Get mentorship. It's the best thing. And so in addition to the mentorship, get coaching. Some companies have internal coaching where your coaches are actually located on your job. If that's so, look, don't hesitate, go ahead and reach out to that internal coach. Now if you don't have internal coaches, or you feel like it would it might not be good business to get another manager to mentor you, there's some other issues going on in the company, then get a coach. That's the next best thing. There are a lot of coaches out there, executive coaches, career coaches. It is what we do. We have this experience for you, and we're like your own, you can have your own board. It's just the people that I go to groom me for the next level. Because if you're a new manager or a manager in a new position, chances are you don't plan on staying there for the next 50 years, 30, 40, 50 years. Your intention is to move up. And to be able to move up, you need grooming right out of the gate. Even if if you're not a manager, but you're in a brand new position and you know that you want to be a team leader, you want to be a manager at some point, mentoring and coaching up front is the best thing you can do. I often tell people that is the one regret that I regret from when I first went on active duty Army, is that I did not get a mentor. And I did not get a mentor at all. I didn't really know to even go get one. And I say to people all the time, get a mentor, get a mentor, get a mentor. And if you can't get a mentor, get a coach. It is the next best thing, because coaches can work with you and help guide you and, work with you to figure out where your gaps are, and then do suggestions and activities to fill your gaps so you're prepared to leap to that next level. So that is my truth today. If you have a boss who's just too busy to groom you, too busy to manage you, you can get on his or her calendar, put yourself on the calendar, come up with an agenda and figure out where your gaps are and work with them to improve. If that doesn't work, get a mentor at your job, another supervisor, someone else in another section maybe, or get a coach. Either way you go, don't go it alone, and don't spend the next year or so guessing and hoping you're on the right path, because that sets you behind. You are there to be prepared for something better. I am happy that you have what you have now, but you're there to be prepared and groomed for something better. So that is my truth. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your day, your evening, or your morning. Take care.